welcome back to Advent of Code 2021. We're on to day 16. So, just a few days left. I don't know if there's going to be any really tough ones, because so far I've found it pretty easy. The longest one took me maybe an hour. Well, yeah. Alright, 16. Packet decoder. Okay. As you leave the cave and reach open waters, you receive a transmission from the elves back on the ship. The transmission was sent using the Buoyancy Interchange Transmission System, BITS, a method of packing numeric expressions into a binary sequence. It's saved in hexadecimal. We know hexadecimal, don't we? That's the string. Alright. The first step of decoding the message is to convert the hexadecimal representation into binary. Each character of hexadecimal represents 4 bits. Okay, so the bits transmission contains a single packet at its outermost layer, which itself contains many other packets. Alright. Every packet begins with standard header. The first 3 bits encode the packet version, and the next 3 bits encode the packet type ID. These 2 values are numbers. All numbers encoded in any packet are represented as binary with the most significant bit first. For example, a version encoded as the binary sequence 100 represents the number 4. Okay. You got 6 bits that will define the version and the ID. Then you got the packet data. So packets with type ID 4 represent a literal value. Literal value packets encode a single binary number. To do this, the binary number is padded with leading zeros until its length is a multiple of 4 bits. And then it is broken into groups of 4 bits. Each group is prefixed by a 1 bit, except the last group, which is prefixed by a 0 bit. But, okay. These groups of 5 bits immediately follow the packet header. For example, the hexadecimal... Alright, okay, I was confused about what those letters were. Those are just like... pointing to the different sections. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So we've got the versions, and that's 110. So D is 1101. So you convert that to a string. That's binary string, and that is no longer relevant. And then you look at the first 3 bits. 110 is the version number. Packet version 6. Okay. The next 3 are the type ID 4, which means the packet is a literal value. So then we look at that. Welcome in, Smab UK. Just rereading my code for this one to remind how I solved it. Okay, so it's always going to start with a 1, and then we may have leading zeros. I see. So the leading zeros don't matter. So we split it into groups of 5 bits. They always begin with a 1, but the last group begins with a 0, so that's how we know to stop looking at groups. I see. So we look at each group of 5 bits, 10111, but we knock off the 1, and we get 0111. Alright. And then the next group, do that again, and then when we see this group, it starts with a 0, so we know we don't need any more groups. Okay. Makes sense. So rather than encoding like the width as another number or something, it's just a flag telling you when to stop. Okay. So it's 00, so yeah, it's 00101. So we know we stop there, and then that gets ignored, okay. And then we've got a binary number, and that's 2021. Right. Every other type of packet represents an operator that performs some calculation on one or more sub-packets contained within. Right now, the specific operations aren't important. Focus on parsing the hierarchy of sub-packets. God, this is complicated. Alright, so that process, I feel like just coding that right now. We'll read through the whole thing, but might not understand it all at first read. So what we just read was how to turn a packet whose ID is a literal value into a number. That's like the base. That's like the base level thing. But we don't have a packet. This is not a packet. It's actually a packet of packets. It's or something like that. Anyway, let's read on. So an operator packet contains one or more packets. To indicate which subsequent binary data represents its sub-packets, an operator packet can use one or two modes indicated by the bit immediately after the packet header. This is called the length type ID. So after the header, so the type ID was something other than 4. Does the type ID matter? I mean, other than the fact that it's other than 4. This is the sort of problem I like well spec'd without me having to worry about path walking. Fair enough. So the next value, well, whatever whatever it's called, the bit, the next bit, immediately after the packet header, it's called the length type ID. If it's 0, then the next 15 bits are a number that represent the total length in bits of the sub-packets contained by this packet. it's 0... Okay, so 15, 11, they're not important numbers. They're just, if it's 0, you take the next 15 bits, and that is the total length, total summed length of the subpackets. Okay. If it's 1, then the next 11 bits are the number of subpackets immediately contained by this packet. So you're either told the sum of the packets, or sum together, or that, well, not the sum, the sum of lengths of the packets, or you're told the number of subpackets. Okay. Finally, after the length type ID bit and the 15-bit or 11-bit field, the subpackets appear. Okay, so this time we've got the version, type, which is 6. We have the length bit, length type bit. It's a 0, so we go for 15 digits, so that's that. That number is 27. And then, so we know the next 27 bits those will be subpackets. Okay. So this is... But we don't know where the split is, but okay, so we look at these bits, so it's 110, so... That's the packet version. So basically this is a sub-packet like before, so it's 110, that's the version. That's the type ID, which is 100, which means it's a packet type literal value, and there's just one group. Okay, so we know where B starts. That's the version there. Okay, okay. So given us, so we want a method which, given a string, extracts the first packet of that string. And if we do that repeatedly until we've hit 27, then we would know all the packets. Okay. I suppose it would be like a recursive function, because this could have been a another sub-packet thingy. Alright, so we get that far. But if it's an operator, I guess it's going to generally be like 2 values. Well, it could be a sum of multiple values. Well, they're not really talking about this operator right now. Alright. Alright, I think I understand the example. Oh, okay, so yeah, they've got 3 sub-packets this time, but they're all literals. They're not operator sub-packets. For now, parse the hierarchy of the packets throughout the transmission and add up all of the version numbers. So this is an operator packet that contains an operator packet that contains an operator packet that contains 5 literal values. Alright, so yeah, we do need a kind of recursive approach here. Code the structure of your hexadecimal. Okay. Hello, Go Noob 42. Thanks for the best wishes. Have you done any of these Advent of codes? Alright. We have enough to get started. I mean, the literal value is the easiest to compute. That's like a non-recursive function. I have only ever gotten there till first 5 days. Is that across multiple years? You've done a few days of each year for the last couple of years or so, or you've just done 1 year? Okay. What Thai island is that in your About Me picture? Did you recognize that it was a Thai island, or did I mention it was a Thai island in the description? It was Koh Phangan in Thailand. I lived there for like 2 years during the pandemic. There wasn't anywhere else to go. I did a lot of Advent of Code back then, but there wasn't much else to do. Alright, so I've been to Koh Samui once, and I'm good with geography and stuff like GeoGuessr. That's interesting. I've been watching a bit of the pros doing GeoGuessr. I saw one live as well at ESA speedrunning marathon like a couple of years back. One of the top GeoGuessr speedrunners. But the GeoGuessrs are usually by roads, aren't they? So that's quite impressive that you'd notice it by the sea. Were there any factors in the photo that gave it away? I guess I don't have the photo in front of me. I've got to go look at that. Find it now. Hang on. Which the photo is actually looking at Koh Samui, isn't it? Across the ocean. Like, I'm on Koh Phangan, but in the distance you can see Koh Samui. Let me have a look at this photo. Yeah, it is, yeah. The shape of the mountains and their proximity to the sea and Koh Phangan is visible from Samui. Yes. So you recognized it from the shape of the mountains. Fair enough. And I guess the distance between that island and Koh Phangan is quite recognizable, yeah, if you've been to the north side of Koh Samui, like the Bang Rak area. I lived near the Fisher's Market on Samui, right. So yeah, you would have seen this a lot and seen the boats go by. Awesome. Huh. I was there just a month ago, actually. Not at that exact house, because apparently that's been knocked down, but I was at the same resort that had that house. They replaced it with a house not as good and a bit further away from the beach, but I don't know why. That was a really good house. I was living there for several months because like I was just like had nothing to do and I was just staying there because there was no point leaving because the rest of the world was like locked down. I guess they were just trying to squeeze more houses in. But yeah, they weren't as good. They didn't have that nice balcony facing the ocean like it did before. Alright, let's get to do some coding at least. I was on Samui only for 10 days, but I lived 5 days on North Beach and 5 on the southeast side. Southeast, so like Lamai. Because I was in Lamai about a month ago as well. That's pretty nice place. Crystal Bay, okay. In fact, I went to Lamai specifically because of Songkran, because I actually kind of don't like Songkran. In fact, I hate it. And I just wanted to get away from Songkran because it gives me anxiety having people throw water on me and stuff when I'm just trying to go get my groceries and stuff. So I just needed to go somewhere quiet and away, and Lamai was a pretty good place for that. Unlike like the Bangkok area where they do it for like a whole week, which is just crazy. That's too much. Lamai, they only did it for like 2 days, and even then there wasn't much going on. For this, what did they call it? Transmission. All right, we'll call it transmission. Fun, I'll get back to work as well. Lamai's McDonald's had the best orange juice I've ever had. Nice. I don't think I've ever been to a McDonald's in Thailand. It always seemed a weird place to go, but I suppose like when you've had enough Thai food, whatever else, there's always that. I mean, I do sometimes go to McDonald's for coffee, actually. Alright, because they're a place that let you pay by card, that just makes it convenient for me. Mission. That's all we need for reading the input. And then we need, I don't know where to get started here. We need... So I think the top level method we need here is read packet for a given string from a given index, and it would default to 0 if we don't supply one. No, it should always be from 0. No. We don't want to be cutting up the string. We'll keep the string intact. We'll read from an index. Need to turn the AC on. So the first call to this packet will just pass the whole string in. And what is this exactly going to do? Well, right now, the only thing we want to do is add up the version numbers. So it could just be a thing which does nothing, but whenever we see a version number, we just store it. So all right, now we just have to unpack this whole thing. I guess so. If we've passed an index that we know starts a packet, then the very first thing we want to do is read the. Oh, also this transmission we should be converting to binary, shouldn't we? That's the first thing we do. Hang on, so transmission equals so we want to for each character in here we want to convert that to the binary value, but we have to pad it with zeros, so we do hexadecimal to binary. I've always got to look these ones up. Python convert hexadec to binary. I think it's like yeah, it's okay, it's not the prettiest thing, but this works. So we can do that. So that converts the car to decimal, and then we convert it to binary, and it gets rid of the 0B at the start. So this is just the string, but we've also got to pad it with zeros. LPAD? No, what was it called? .z fill. But we want to go from the left. How does this work? Oh, it does go from the left, okay. And you don't put the zero, you don't do that, you do 4. That's a bit of a lengthy line. Alright, let's see if it works. So it's 10000010. That is D. Let me just check this is right. D8 hexa to bind. 1. Huh? I think it's wrong. Oh, no, that wasn't the start. Go to the start. 8-2. Let's see. 8-2-OD. Let's do that. So it should be that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, fine. We've got the transmission. That's step 1 done. We don't... Now it's all in binary and we shouldn't need to worry about hexadecimal anymore. Alright, so... global version sum. Alright. Now... version... version equals s from index to index plus 3. That is the version. Welcome back, Smab UK. Haven't made much progress. We've gone as far as turning it from hexadecimal into binary. Alright, so we're reading the version. We get that as a string, and then we want to, I guess, turn it into an integer, which is int 2. And then we'll just plop that on the sum. That's the version. And then we want the type ID. So that's going to be... it's going to be from index plus 3 to index plus 6. And then and this is where we branch basically. So if it's a literal value, that's the easier one to compute. In fact, for now, if it's a literal value, we just end the function because we don't do anything other than read the version sums. So if type ID is 4, but I don't hear anything. Do you? Oh, okay. Welcome in, D3V guy, low levelish 777. Welcome in. Wow, Hashim was D3V doing some coding, possibly even Advent of Code. Do you allow raids? I can't seem to raid you. I do allow raids, and I have been raided. I don't know why it wouldn't raid. I don't think I have any conditions on who I allow to raid. No. Yeah, I don't know. But thanks for coming in. What were you doing? I'd be surprised if you were doing Advent of Code, because not many people have been doing it nowadays, but it's not the season for it. I was watching some Advent of Code a few days ago. Oh, really? Were they doing it live, or it was just like a YouTube video? It's 4. I think we just don't do anything here. God, I think he was trying leaderboards. All right, yeah. Like, I think the leaderboard situation for Advent of Code has become a bit of an issue, because the last 2 or 3 years have been like, people have been using AI and they continue to use it to this day, and it's just kind of ruined the leaderboards. But people do have their own private leaderboards where they curate who is added. But the global leaderboard, I mean, it's legacy, so he keeps it running, but people don't care as much as they used to about it. But the LLMs do reach the top of the leaderboard easily. I think my channel may be too new to raid. I haven't been able to raid anyone yet. It's possible, because they do have, there are like bot raids that people do, so, and they are usually new channels if they're doing raids of bots, so it might be that they're waiting us a week or something before they establish that you're not a bot. I don't know. And that will also be why they don't tell you, I guess, why the raid didn't work. Alright, so if we're in this case, that means we're in an operator. Why are we indenting? Why does it want me to indent? Okay, no, it's fine. So yeah, this particular Advent of Code problem, number 16, is, I guess it's not computationally difficult, it's just there's a lot to unpack from the description. So the bit immediately after the packet header. Alright, so we want the next bit, which is going to be length type ID equals that. It's a read carefully problem, definitely, yeah. And this is going to be 0 or 1. So if it's 0, that's the easier case, because then we just know the next 15 bits. And the fact that it's 15 doesn't matter, because we would know where to end anyway, wouldn't we? Or not necessarily. No, we wouldn't necessarily know. Okay, so I think this function that I've written here needs to return where we left off, index-wise. So when we return, we should actually say return here it'll be we're actually gonna have to unpack this literal value. It's the only way to know. Okay, so I mean, we're gonna have to do this anyway for part 2, so let's just do it. So, got literal value. So from this point on, we're looking at groups. Of 5 bits. Okay, I mean, this is not too hard. We just for group index in, so we're starting from index plus 6. And we're going, I mean, we don't care where we end because we'll break out when we see a 0. I guess in theory it would be well, we'll just put the endpoint at length of s. Even though we can't ever really get that close. We can get like 5 bits from the end. But we're counting 5 at a time. So this basically just counts upwards in groups of 5. Well, it's the index of the group. So then the prefix equals s, so it's just going to be the first bit. And we don't need to do anything with that right now. And then the content will be the next 4 bits. So it'll be, is this part 1 or part 2? This is part 1. It's for a part 1 problem, it's I guess on the harder side. Like there's a lot you got to get right here. So the literal value just say value equals s from group index plus 1. It's not hard, but you can't rush it. Well, yeah, I say hard because of all the stuff you got to type. Every little mistake is gonna make it wrong. So I guess there's more opportunity for mistakes, but we'll see. If I get it right first time, then maybe it wasn't that hard. It's 5. So that is 4 bits, and we keep it as binary, don't we? I mean, we don't do anything with it right now. Oh. Ultimately, we concatenate them all together, so we'll do that even though we're not doing anything with that number. So we'll say value equals that, and then value plus equal that. So we pen that. If prefix is 0, we break out of this loop. And if it's 1, it'll just carry on. Possibly to the end of the string. And then, like, we can say value equals int value, turn that to decimal. Yeah, and we don't do anything with that. Then we return. And I want to return the index that we left off at. So it's going to be basically group index plus 5. So the next string, the next packet to be read will be there. It can't be a null value, can it? It's got to have at least one group, so yeah. Alright. And then in the operator phase, length type ID is I mean, it's just a bit. We'll just leave it as a string. Okay. So what's the easier one? I think... So if we know the length, we have to basically, in a for loop, call this method again, keeping track of the index that we're brought to each time we unpack a packet, until we reach the end of this. And if we're told the number of packets, that's kind of ever so slightly easier. Because we just call the subroutine exactly that many times. So we'll do that. So if it's 1, then the next 11 bits are the number of subpackets contained by this packet. So num packets equals, so it's going to be it's going to be 7 and it's plus 11. So we'll just explicitly add the 11 so I can see what's going on here. Okay. Now, if we're in this phase, then we want to... So let's say temp index equals... So it's going to be that. That is where the packets start. Alright, D3V. See you next time. Don't know how long I'm going to be on this. We're still on part 1. This is where the packets start, and I guess we want to do for range num packets. We do read packet from the same string. Now the index is going to be temp index, and that will and whenever we call this method, we return tail index. So temp index is going to be updated to be that. Yeah. Okay. And in this case, it'll be similar, but we're going to have... So this time it'll be length. Len packets equals... We'll just say length. This time it'll be plus 15. And this time we just have to go while temp index minus whatever it started at, which was that, is still less than length packets. Then we keep going. So temp index equals read packet as temp index. So we should finish exactly on length packets. Either way, that is where we end, right? So we have to return temp index. Is there anything else that comes after? No, that should be the end of this top level packet of this function. I do think it's a hard part 1. Like, people... Like, you kind of have to do it recursively. I don't really see another way around it, and people do struggle with recursive stuff in general, and they like to write it like if they get confused with recursive stuff, then they prefer to write it like iteratively. But this is not something you'd really want to try and write using iteration. Although it would just be worse. You'd have to have like flags and stacks. Although you can, it's not okay. It probably wouldn't be that bad. You'd have to use a stack. It's just you have to be more careful about making sure the stack is correct and everything. Find this sort of problem much easier than anything with a path. I think it's my enterprise background. Fair enough. Well, I guess we'll see if I got it right. Transmission. So the transmission's in binary. There may be zeros at the end. And I write tests. Yeah, tests definitely help. Something I never do in Advent of Code, but read packet transmission. But I mean, at least they do give us a good selection of test material here. Like they've given us some different examples of messages and what you should get from them. Which we'll go to if this fails. So that just has the side effect of updating version sum. (974). Okay, well, it terminated, so that means we don't get stuck in any infinite loop or anything. Wow, first try. Okay, yeah. Well, I wrote it carefully, and it paid off. Part 2. This might be an easy part 2 if you've already written the stuff fully. We'll see. Now that you have the structure of your transmission decoded, you can calculate the value of the expression it represents. Literal values represent a single number. Packets with type ID is 0 or sum. Okay. On a product. Okay, so you kind of... I see. Oh, this is going to be one of those things where Python... Everyone who's using Python has an easy shortcut to solving it just by running exec. I think it is, yeah, we've got equal and less than. Min and max, we can run that through exec as well. Well, we'll see what we do. And then you have to evaluate the expression. Sorry, not exec, eval. 50 years, that's a lot of programming. Alright, so we basically have to... In most cases, it's going to be like operators of 2 values. And the minimum and maximum. Okay, now I see why... Well... Yeah, okay. Alright, okay, well, I mean, we have got most things in place. We want to build... I suppose we want to put parentheses in as well. So we could do it like this. I mean, is this safe to build in a linear way? I think so, because we're sort of going from left to right. Yeah, we are. So even when we go to sub packets. Alright, so let's do this. So we expression equals list. So when we read a packet, let's just pop a parentheses on there. I wouldn't start with C these days unless you plan to do something that requires low-level programming. I agree with that, definitely. I think I did start with C because we had to back in university, but then they told us you can use any other language if you wish, but we only support C, as in the university tutors would only help us if we were using C. But I did opt to switch to Python, while most of my class colleagues stuck with C, and they were the ones that suffered for it, even with the tutors being able to help them. But it wasn't really the university professor's fault. Like it was the administration above them that was deciding on that. I don't think they even like to see themselves. In fact, most of them didn't like programming. Like I was studying mathematics, and most of the professors are like purists, and they don't like the new age of using computers to do mathematics, so a lot of them don't program full stop. Alright, so we pop a bracket there. And then so we just put the brackets in. Looking from a mathematical point of view, I see why. Yeah, I mean it was kind of like a revolution in the world of mathematics, actually using programming to prove theorems, for example, which was controversial, but it technically is a valid proof. I mean, if you prove that the program proves things correctly, and then you run the program and it proves something, then you've proved the thing, sort of. Like the famous four-color theorem was proved using a computer, and that was, I guess, decades ago, but hello, Amara. We're doing a I would say it's a hard problem, but mostly because you just got to write a lot, understand a lot of the description, but step by step it's not too bad. It's just ultimately you have this mathematical expression which has sums and products and mins and maxes and greater than and less than and equal to in a series of nested parentheses. Hang on, let me just switch to this. And this whole expression is encoded in this one hexadecimal string. So you kind of have to unpack it and work out where each sub-expression starts and ends and so on. So I've written a recursive function, and it's mostly correct. We just have to now put in the operators, the sums and products and things. And then we can just pass it all to eval in Python, because we can cheat. But doing it without eval wouldn't be too hard, I think, as well. We'll try it with eval, and if for some reason I run into a problem, we might just do it the proper way. expression. So we put the brackets in. Okay, now let's look at the literal value. So we've got the value. All right. I mean, here we just pop the value in there. That's all we do, right? So it should work like the way we're doing it left to right. And then when it comes to operators, see, if we know the operator, then this type ID isn't as important. Like, if we knew it was plus... Oh, hang on. They didn't say it was between two. Let me go back to that. Ah, no, it's unbounded. Okay, fine. So what we need is to just put all these numbers in a list before we do anything else. So and the operator is defined by this type ID, which we haven't actually really used much. Okay. Okay, so values is that. Oh, right, I see. Um, this if I wanted to do it this way, where we're building the string, we don't actually want to do it. We want to. Let's think. How do we want to do this? So, can we build all of these left to right? Yeah, we can, because we can just put a plus symbol and then put the number, then put a plus symbol, then put the number. For product, we can do the same, but to multiply. Minimum is the tricky one. Okay, we're gonna have to write min, open bracket, and then just put a comma between each one. Max. So greater than, we can do less than, equal to. Okay, we can do this. We just have to put the initial characters and then put the separator characters and put the end characters. So and the music stops. Why does YouTube do this? Video paused. Continue watching. Yes. What? Why did you pause it? Um. YouTube making some questionable updates. Well, that's been a thing since as long as I can remember. I don't know why when I play music in a YouTube video it just pauses randomly sometimes. Okay, so excuse me. I hate how they spam with ads now after the manifest patch. I don't know. I've never had YouTube ads. I've literally always used AdBlocker since 20 years ago, I think. And my ad blockers still work, so... Okay, so we need initial... Which one do you use? I use uBlock Origin. For the last few years, and I don't know if it's the way I've configured it, but I've never had YouTube ads slip through. I use it for Twitch as well. Twitch sometimes, every now and then, an ad slips through, but it seems to be just a one-off. For the most part, I don't get any ads on Twitch. Okay, it's just Chrome where they keep trying to remove ad blockers. Oh yeah, that's the important thing. I use Firefox. And I've used it for as long as I can remember. Yeah, like something like 20 years. Okay. Say header equals. So it's going to depend on... So if it's only if it's min or max we need a header, otherwise we don't. So if so it's type ID. Okay, so if type ID is 2, we want expression dot append. Just put the string min open brackets elif type ID equals 3 max, and everything else we don't do anything, and then separator equals, and then this time there's going to be a whole bunch of things, so we'll just put them in a dictionary. So it's, so if it's 0 we do plus, if it's 1 we do star, it's 2 we do comma, if it's 3 we also do comma, it's 5, because if it's 4 it's a literal, if it's 5 we do greater than, if it's 6 less than, and 7. All right. And this won't be equals. So it's going to be that type ID. So each time we put one of these, we have to put separator. I suppose. Oh, now we have to. Oh dear. Okay, fine. So put these spaces. Right, so after each of these, we just add a separator, and then I guess there's going to be one additional separator at the end. We'll just have to knock off to pop it off off the list. That's probably the cleanest way to do it. All right, so we know the separator. So temp index equals read packet. So that method pops the value onto the expression, and then we'll do expression.append separator. And then same down here. So if we reach this point, we have basically built the expression with all the values and the separators. We have to delete the last separator. Pop. Then we have to add the ending characters, which is only going to be the close brackets like this. If type ID in 2, 3, expression.add that, and then we add the final close brackets. Okay, like in a way, I'm starting to think this might have even been more complicated than just actually doing it without eval. Anyway, let's just see what we've got. Okay. Looks a bit weird, but this is min. Is that okay? Yeah. I mean, it could just be one value. Do we need these outer brackets? Kind of do. I don't think. Let me just see what it would look like if I didn't have them. I think we do need them. Also, this is going to be a Boolean. How did they want to deal with that? Value 1 if it's true. Okay, so it should be fine. It should still use it in an arithmetic way, except... Yeah, we do need the brackets. Okay, so let me just do that. I think it's fine. Alright, we'll go for it. Print eval. Object is not iterable. Wait, how do you use eval? Just put a string, don't you? Don't expression. We don't know if it's going to... Also, we don't need the bracket. Okay, so we don't need the bracket unless it's a operator. So we'll take it out if it's a literal. That just complicates things. And we'll put it in if it's an operator. So that will go... No, that was the right place for that. And do it here. Be better. So the expression looks alright. This looks a bit weird, but I guess there's nothing technically wrong with it. It's comparing a lot of things that are computed later on. I don't know what this error means. So if it's an error with that expression not being parsable, then that's going to be a nightmare to debug, because I don't know what... Can we... Okay, are we even allowed to do this? Do you need more than one value? Because that's going to be an issue. That's the problem. You're not allowed to... Wait, is that... minimum of the values of their subpackets? Values of the subpacket. It's got to be an iterable. Interesting. So there's a... Either we just add in a 0, but then what do we do for the min? Or we need to make it look like a list. So I think you could... So if I put a comma there... Doesn't that turn it into a tuple? Oh no, no, because yeah, it's an int. So what if I were to just put brackets? Yeah, make it an array, or just make it a list. Yeah, I think making it a list is actually the easiest way. So if it's... so we do that. Oh boy, alright. This will be a pain to debug. If it's wrong. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, as long as that process was correct, then the rest just falls into place, really. It's not too hard, it's just, yeah, you gotta get your head around it. And the thing about, in this case, eval wasn't as big a shortcut as it is in some problems. Like, I could have just evaluated the value of the sub-expression, like, in the method and returned it back to the calling function. That is probably... Actually, maybe that's the cleaner way to do it in this problem, because... then you're doing that stuff with opening brackets and stuff. Runs the risk of eval string being too long, I suppose. What's the limit on eval? like 75,000. Yeah, I guess there's some limit in that case. I mean, yeah, if I were to do this problem again, I wouldn't actually use eval. It's not as clean in this case. But there are some problems we've had in the past where eval was just complete magic, and it just saves so much time. Hooray. Okay, so that was the longest problem we've had so far. Just. I mean, I had a problem before which took about an hour and a bit. So, but I can do another one, and that'll probably be the last one. So I ended up with this, would write it slightly differently as 4 years have gone by. Alright, let's have a look. As binary from hex. Yeah, Python's methods for converting between the number systems are a bit weird. They just don't look as clean as writing something like as binary from hex. Please use dark mode. There's no button here to switch to dark mode. I tried last time I was on GitHub. Is there a dark mode for GitHub? Because I wanted dark mode, but yeah, I don't know how to do it. Oh, you wrote that. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and you're increasing the index each time, which is another way to do it instead of writing +7 and +15 and stuff, but yeah. Alright, and yeah, you've done the actual function. That's actually the better way. Settings appearance, is it in there? Could have sworn I tried even today. Settings. Wait, is there even a settings? I don't know. I'll try and figure it out offline. Alright. We'll relax our eyes. On your avatar. Oh. Totally intuitive. To click on your avatar to change settings. Alright, Let me update the screen. Alright, 17. Trick shot. You finally decode the Elvis message. Hi, the message says. You continue searching for the sleigh keys. So that big number I decoded was high. Alright, ahead of you is what appears to be a large ocean trench. Could the keys have fallen into it? You better send a probe to investigate. Ocean trench. Wikipedia as well. Oh, it does have a dock. It just doesn't stick. You have to click it every time you open it. Well, it's because I'm not logged in or anything. Cool. launcher on your submarine can fire the probe with any integer velocity in the x and y. For example, let's fire straight up. Yeah, okay. This is going to be a physics problem. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, so... Oh, we got drag. The probe's x velocity changes by 1 towards the value. So it's linear drag. Oh no, it's not linear. Whoa. Ah, okay, so it decreases by 1. Yeah, okay, so there's basically it's like if there's a fixed force against you, sort of. So it's a very simplified version of drag. It's not drag that's relative to your speed or your speed squared or anything like that. Due to gravity, the probe's y velocity decreases by 1. Okay. And so the gravitational acceleration is 1. Okay. So that's the target area. Okay. So it defines us like a square. This target area means that you need to find a velocity value such that after any step, the probe's x position is at least... After any step. Wait, so a step is... What do you mean by any step? Do they mean by that after some step it will eventually get into that region? Strange wording. The way I read it is if any step, that means every time you do a step you're in that region. But that's a step, that's a step, that's a step, so... Yeah, I would have said after some step. Am I reading this right? Well, according to the diagram, okay, we want to get to it at, like, step 7 or something. S is the probe's initial position. Okay, so that's not within, never hits the target, okay. If you're going to fire a highly scientific probe out of a super cool probe launcher, you might as well do it with style. How high can you make the probe go while still reaching the target area? Using an initial velocity of 6.9 is the best you can do, causing the probe to reach a maximum y position of 45. Find the initial velocity that causes the probe to reach the highest y position and still eventually be within the target area after any step. What is the highest y position it reaches in this trajectory? Okay. Are we really just brute forcing it? I guess, Is there a cap? Because couldn't you just always just shoot it higher, faster and faster in the y direction. Any integer velocity? Really? Oh, okay. The cap is implied by the fact that the x speed, the forward speed, has to be minimum 1. So, yeah, okay, that imposes a limit because you can't just go higher and higher and higher because you'd have to reduce the x to fractional values. Okay, fine. Just turn the AC off. So I think knowing that x has to be at least 1, then we can sort of work out what like an upper bound on y, and then I suppose you can just brute force this. Shouldn't be too bad. We'll look at the numbers. We start at what, 0, 0? Yeah. And that's the region. It's not too far away. So I think this is just a brute force problem, and even if we run the simulation every time. We can shoot downwards. And we may need to. Like, maybe you can't even do it shooting upwards. Okay. Alright, so... target area. Like, we don't need to parse this, but I guess I'll just do it for completeness. I mean, okay, we should really use regular expressions here. Now I have to remind myself how to do that. Nope, what am I doing? Just paste this here so I see it. I mean, yeah, we'll use regular expressions just as a reminder of how to do it. It's easy to unpack it just by knowing the indices of where the integers start and so on, but well, you'd have to separate by a comma and then by the dot dot. Yeah, we'll use regular expressions. Part 1 is a 2-line solution for Python 3 on the Reddit thread. Okay. I mean, it... Yeah, okay, I guess that's not too surprising. So it's gonna be like that, but we want this. Which is gonna be the plus. Is that right? Slash even going the right way? Well, okay, well, anyway, we use the online reg thingy to make sure I'm doing this right. Wait, why am I putting slashes? Wait, no, hang on, is that... Yes, that's a... Where's the cheat sheet? I need the cheat sheet. Oh yeah, of course, it's backslash. I did think I was doing this the wrong way around. It's digit. Do we even need the brackets? Like, you just... But dot... Do we have to... We have to escape the dots. We do want this because that's how we're going to capture the groups. Alright, is that? Let me just remove this for now. Okay, okay, so far so good. Don't forget the sign. Oh, damn it. Yeah. Say in every one of these groups it could be a minus just to make it complete. So say minus question mark. Forget how regex works. 0 or 1. Alright. I mean, I could have just hard-coded the numbers in, but... That is the, expression. Dot match pattern line. I don't remember what you do with this. Let me just print it and see what it looks like. Okay, G dot groups. Okay, we got it. And do we just, like, group 0 would be 150? Group 1 would be 150. Okay, got it. Right, so we'll say x1 equals, say x1, x2, y1. Is it always smaller to bigger? Yeah, should be. y2. Named my groups, yeah, that would make sense. Equals the dot groups, but we want to just int Alright, I think that will work. Okay, we did it. We read one line of input. Not sure how Python handles that. I'm sure there's something equivalent. So we just need a is in target. Given an X and a Y. So it's less than or equal to, so can be on the. You were lurking on Wogger's stream? No, not recently, but I know that he's been doing a lot of Dynamite Heady. Code must be on some check sheet that causes it to be within a target area. At least 20 and at most 30. Yeah, okay, so it is on the border. So far it reads like you are converting my code to Python. Oh, yeah, I guess there is, like, really one natural way of doing this so far. Turn x1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to x2, and y1 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to y2. Alright. That's given an x and a y. We should really do this. We should make a vector class, and because we were doing that a lot in the last Appends of Code I did. In fact, I can probably dig out that code and find it. Let me see. Last one was 2024. I think we were doing it quite often in this year. Just, yeah, this... Well, let's go from the end, because I probably improved it over time. Like this. Well, okay. I mean, this is as much as we need, really. Just adding and subtracting and stuff. Let's do it like that. The data class. It's going to be X and Y. You remember all the problems? Not really, but if I look at a problem, even from years ago, look at the description, I probably will remember most of them. And have a recollection of what I did, but I just remember that last year I was using this class a lot and writing it in a really clean way, which improved upon how I used it in previous years. Okay, so we don't even really need that until we need it. Leave it in. Oh, these X's. So if something has a position and a velocity, then we want to compute what the next step is. So define step. Oh, so hang on, this is going to be... Given a pause and a vel, so the next pause will just be pause plus vel. And new vel equals the x value will be vel.x minus 1, but if it's hits 0, then we go like that. And the y value will be del dot y minus equal 1. Minus 1. Is that what they said? Yeah. That's a step. Alright, now we need a method where if we fire with a given velocity, we'll hit target, I guess, for a given velocity. This just does the whole step process, so let's say pos equals 0, 0. Velocity equals v. Let's just say while true. If is in target pos, then this is a true. We'll say if pos.x is greater than x2 or pos dot y is less than y1, then it's beyond the target and there's no way it could ever get back into the target. It's falling. If it's below, then that means it's accelerating. Hawkman Quantum. Funny joke. It was also funny last stream when you did it as well. Are you gonna do some Plants vs Zombies anytime soon, Quantum? Might do it tonight. Oh, exciting. Are you still top one? No. Blue beat me. Of course he did. I mean, I was expecting that. It's a strategy game. Blue beat the game in... He submitted it to the bot. Hang on, let me check. Four hours, 36 minutes. That's pretty fast. Considering how time saves are small in magnitude, really, in that game. But, yeah, I'm second. But he doesn't have a video of it. Well, actually, I don't think he's really been using videos for any of his runs. So, nothing to learn from. Was it an offline submission? Yeah, pretty much. Here it's returned false. Rigged. At the minimum, I just want to know what plants he used. I guess I mean, he hasn't made a submission post yet, so he probably will at some point. And he'll probably say what plants he used. Pos vel equals step pos vel. Must have used the mowers. Yeah, if you tactically use the mowers, you can save time. I suppose you can tactically use garlic as well. Oh, I'm giving spoilers for Quantum. Suppose I shouldn't. Quantum, don't use mowers or garlic. You're now banned from using mowers or garlic. Got 100% on Die Hard 3. No one saves New York. I was so close to beating him in Pokemon. I'm gutted about that. Like, I was just minutes away from not only beating him, but having a much better score. But I just didn't finish within time. Because he had 6 losses, and I had 3. But I just didn't finish. I think I finished at like just 10 minutes overtime. Although I was like, as soon as the 5-hour mark had gone, I was not even trying. So I reckon realistically, I would have, if I was still trying, I probably would have finished about 1 hour 5 minutes. Quantum, will you join all the races next time too? What the struggle are races? Everyone's gonna want a rematch. I mean, look how close that Portal game was. Kramit's definitely gonna want a rematch there. Like the thing of Mara's talking about the struggle races. Alright, so that's everything in place. Now we just need a strategy for so the X is obviously capped by like the boundary of the area. So like we don't want velocity X to be any higher than that. The Y is the one I'm not completely sure about. Okay, so the target area is definitely below us. Okay, so we want the Y to be as high as possible, so the minimum Y will obviously be like minus 129. The maximum Y would be what? not entirely obvious to me what the maximum y would be. Like some bound on it. Hang on, have I got this? Have I got this X drag done correctly? Let me look at that again. Interesting. They say the X. They also point out that the X velocity, if it's negative, increases by 1. In this part 1, I don't see any reason we would ever shoot it with a negative velocity, so we won't worry about that for now. I should probably code it correctly. Just in case, because I'm bound to forget about it. Won't be all over it this time. Oh, okay. How many wins did you get, Quantum? You won Achilles, I think. Did you? And the the really unexpected one was Resident Evil against Garlips, who is a Resident Evil speedrunner. That's the correct drag now. So I would think we just do this for X in range. Sorry. For Vx in range, there's got to be minimum 1 and maximum 2. Yeah, if we did x2 plus 1, that would put us past the target. So yeah, we'd be doing that. For Vy in range, so the absolute minimum it could be would be y1. We just go for 1,000 or something. I can't think what the cap is right now. If will hit target Let me just see. Well, this is not the answer, but let's just see what we get. Attribute I. Oops. Okay, so That's 1000's too big. Wait. Yeah, 1000's too big. We're getting values though. That's everything in range 1000. Okay. I wouldn't join a heady race, sorry. I'm a noob at it. I didn't stop you from joining a portal race. But, to be fair, Kramit and you had, like, I guess the same amount of playtime at Portal anyway. Like, Kramit hadn't really studied the game intently. He probably played it a couple of times, and you played it once. So yeah, I guess you were both the same level anyway. Alright, what am I doing with this? Oh, we need to find the highest Y value. So the highest Y value is going to be when Vy is 0. When its Y velocity is 0 and it's like at a peak. But now I'll just print it. I can't be bothered to unpack the values. Let's say, or oh, okay, we can do this. We can say max. Oh no. We'll have to return 2 values here. Okay, so we keep the maximum Y value attained, and then we'll return that. Return. Wait, so Quantum, you said there was going to be a stream at like 6 PM today. Is that the Plants vs. Zombies stream, or is there another stream? Okay, so we return the max Y in either case. My will probe hit method returns a tuple of success and max height. I see, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's just see if this is right. I don't know if there's higher values of y which would yield better results. You don't even really need to do it this way. Like if you knew the because it's linear. It's just solving a quadratic equation. If you know the initial velocity, you can immediately in one step calculate what the maximum height is. So you don't actually need to use this step thing, but whatever. Alright, just let it run. $8,256. So I'm not sure about this cap, whether this is even high enough. Maybe there's higher values that am I actually gonna have to do some maths here. Okay, that's correct. Let me have a quick think about that. Okay, just realized that you don't need to, like, if you knew the x, you would know if the hang on. No, I forget what I just said. Can I share the weird solution? Doesn't seem to work for part 2 anyway. Yeah, sure, you can share it. Oh, you're talking about the the Reddit one. Yes. Find all. Okay, so that's just the regex print y min plus 1 times y min 2. So it's solving a quadratic equation. Wait, y min plus 1 y min divided by 2. Wait, okay. Oh, so it's not printing the, Oh, it is printing the answer to part 1. Oh, I see. It's based on trigonal number sequence. Oh yeah, I get that it's the, yeah, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Like, for it to end up in the target region, you also need you can look at x and y independently, and you can say x has to end up in target x if you're projecting onto, like, projecting everything onto the x-axis. The x velocity in one dimension, the x velocity would have to end up in the target region, and same for the y. So you can look at those independently, and that would, I guess, you can sort of work out that there's a pattern there. Well, of course, they have to arrive at the same time, though, so it's not, you don't actually, that's not completely independent. Alright, so, what is part 2 then? Maybe a fancy trick shot isn't the best idea. After all, you only have one probe, so you had better not miss. To get the best idea of what your options are for launching the probe, you need to find every initial velocity that causes the probe to eventually be within the target area after any step. How many distinct initial velocity values cause the probe to be within the target area after any step? So, I mean, we have everything in place, don't we? Unless the cap isn't even the right cap. So we say, okay, so part 1, part 2, is it not just this? Two, 3, 2, 6. Hello, Fast Mama Jama. This looks really deep. I got a script to catch drones in my channel. Written Python, but it mostly catches birds. Catch drones? Like... What do you mean by catch? Like physical drones? Like... But like, is this an image recognition thing? Like to recognize if something is a drone or a bird? Ah, okay. That's cool. So you're not actually physically catching them, I guess. That would probably be illegal if, I don't know, if they were endangered birds that get caught or something. Would need lasers. Do you get a lot of drones flying over your house? Oh, okay, let's test this result. Okay, it's correct. That thing about the triangular numbers is interesting. I can't be bothered to do the maths right now, but maybe offline I'll just look at the numbers again and maybe realize the pattern. But I guess for part 2 you do kind of just need to brute force it, don't you? You need to find every value. I mean, you can range over the target area instead, and for every value in the target area, then you can kind of work out exactly what the x would need to be to arrive there, and that's a triangular number, of course, because it's going to be cut off. Well, it's not necessarily a triangular number. It's like the first part of a triangular number. It's like 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus... Like, it would be something like 3 plus 4 plus 5, maybe, but it won't go down to 0, necessarily. Oh, no, but it will go down to 0 eventually after it leaves the target area. Okay, so that's why the initial... Okay, that's why the initial velocity x is a triangular number. I see. And same for the y. I'm trying to find alien life. Metallic orbs. OpenCV has round shape detection. Works great with the sky too. Interesting, but how do you recognize? So you're trying to recognize things that don't match in a thing we are familiar with, since I guess we don't have any actual alien life data to work with. So it's like just something that recognizes that something doesn't look like something we know. Is that? But you say metallic orbs, so have you seen any metallic orbs? I use hard datasets of UFOs from only real UFOs. There's datasets of UFOs? Okay. Oh, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I guess, of course, there are. Interesting. So, did you find any metallic orbs over your house? Boogosphere was caught recently. What is that? Found a shorter part 1 solution. How does the solution not involve Ymax? Are they just guessing? Like, you could, like, if Ymax, if it was really narrow in height, would that solution not work? And it just happens to be that the target area is wide enough that it doesn't matter, or? Like, surely that solution wouldn't work if it just happened to, if it was like a one width, one height target area. Then you'd have to. I think that solution might rely on the data provider in not all cases. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, you need to use Ymax in the general case, but it might be that it might be that the nature of the data is just generous. The Buga sphere is being analyzed now by the University of Mexico. It is likely an anti-gravity time capsule. What? Okay. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what an anti-gravity time capsule is. Is that something that doesn't obey the laws of gravity? It just floats? It can likely travel time. Space. But when you say likely, like, why would it be likely? Just because it's an orb that flies? Surely... They have not opened the Bugosphere. Okay. But then how can they draw any conclusion about it like being likely to travel time and space then? I don't really understand. Like, by all principles of physics, surely it's incredibly unlikely. Alright, I don't know if I have time to take a sneak peek at this. Snailfish. Fish. I remember this. Have we dealt with snailfish in another year? Oh, it's another... Okay, it's some kind of Game of Life-y type thingy. I remember. I'm sure there must have been a problem before with involving snailfish. Maybe it was like a throwback, like in one of the later years. Yeah. Is it just adding all the numbers? I'm not really looking in depth, but I mean, you are ultimately adding up the list of snailfish numbers, I suppose. That's what it's asking for. But I don't know how exactly it's unpacked. And I shouldn't really look too into it. This is spoilers. We'll deal with this next time. Alright, getting there. Let's see again if anyone's actually doing anything remotely like Advent of Code. Step away and you finish it, yeah. I mean, part 2, just, we had it all done already. It was just countless successes. Alright. This was mine, very similar. Accessibility? Appearance? Okay, here we go. Dark colorblind. Let's go with dark colorblind, see if that... I normally would use 4. We could try that. Alright, there we go. So yeah, on that note about that Reddit solution, I guess, I mean, I wouldn't have done it that way because yeah, it was relying on the data being nice, but I think you do have to simulate it to some extent for the solution to be completely correct. Yeah. But by all means, you can look through triangular numbers because that will cut down the number of things you check, certainly. Yeah, I see, that's what you're doing. If you're interested in catching UFO, you can get script free. I've never had any motivation to catch UFOs, but maybe I'll take a look at your code afterwards. But when I was living at that island that we were talking about before, I did get a lot of drones flying. I think people were testing their drones there because it was just a good place to test drones. Like a remote island where no one cares. probably wasn't legal. Actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't far from an airport, so that's probably... Well, there was probably a height limit. Because they did allow... There were legal drone uses for parties and stuff, so I guess it was allowed. It's just, as long as you don't go near the airport, that's a big no-no. I think it would be even... You could even be the death penalty if you fly it near the airport. Thailand's pretty strict about that. They have death penalty for people using those Chinese lanterns near the airport, and people do it. It's really stupid. People release those lanterns near the airport. I don't think anyone has actually been executed for it, but they would get pretty bad penalty for doing it. I catch superheroes. What do you think is more common, alien, UFOs, or superheroes? About the same. At least with superheroes, they usually look like normal humans, so we have data on that for image processing. Oh, alien superheroes. Oh, that's interesting. Alright. That's cool. Not much is appearing on this map. I guess it's just like an outline. Oh, of a cave system that we're going through in a submarine. Wonder if there's any problem which could be solved using Subnautica. Probably not, but there are problems people solve with Minecraft or Factorio, or there was one that was just about like placing blocks, and so someone used a physics engine in a game to actually do that. Okay. That's it. Probably we'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for stopping by. And see you next time.